Welcome, DC family. It's the District Sports Report. My name is Greg Henderson. You know who this is.
Uptown Waller.
You know how we do, y'all. Here to recap the last 3 Wizards games. It was an exciting week for the Wizards.
Yes, it was.
A lot of stuff going on, so let's get right to it. So our first game was against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks coming in with one of the best records, if not the best record in the East, and one of the MVP candidates for the year, Mr. Greek Freak Giannis himself.
Yeah, it was in Milwaukee, right?
In Milwaukee, cold Wisconsin, and you know what? It was a cold world, man, because Otto Porter was warming up before the game, and they let him know that he's got to get his stuff, pack his stuff, and move on to another city. As much as I love Otto, loved him since he was a freshman at GT, kind of happy to see that $27 million walk out the door, man.
Well, he probably as soft as that tissue he was probably crying with when he was wiping his face anyway.
Oh, man. Kleenex. All right. So, before tip-off, Otto got the boot. So that left us short-handed, obviously, and we're playing against the top team in the East, so that's going to be a challenge for us. Well, first quarter, Milwaukee let us know who they were and who we are, all right? 50-point nugget in the first half. I'm sorry, first quarter, 50 points. 85 points in the first half, which was a franchise record for the Milwaukee Bucks, ever. So that was just a defensive lapse, defensive debacle.
I was waiting on that word.
Oh, my gosh, debauchery. Just pure lack of defensive effort out there. I mean, Milwaukee's a great team, but to allow 85 points at halftime is just uncalled for. Yeah. So, we knew we were in trouble, down by so much early. Giannis went off for 43 points. Yeah, he was simply unstoppable. He missed 4 shots the whole game out of 21. That's right, he went 17 for 21 from the field. Wizards allowed 148 points for the game. We scored 129, so we were obviously getting some points on the board, but you can't allow 60% shooting.
It's not enough.
You can't allow 63% shooting from three-point range. They shot better from three-point than they did from 2.
Yeah.
They missed 9 free throws. So if they didn't miss those 9 free throws, it actually would have been worse. Turnovers. We had 23 turnovers. They actually had 14 steals. I mean, that's like 3 games worth of steals, y'all. I will give a big shout. It wasn't much of a bright spot to talk about in this Milwaukee game, unfortunately. But I do want to shout out Bradley Beal.
I know it.
He reached a milestone.
No, he did.
1,000 threes. He is the fastest player to reach 1,000 threes in only 460 games. He's also the youngest player to ever reach 1,000 threes at 25 years of age and some change. So big shout out to Brad, and big shout out to John Wall, who despite his injury was right there to celebrate with Brad, showing a lot of brotherhood, showing a lot of team camaraderie, even though he's nursing a terrible injury. I like to see that. He could be at home, but he's at the game showing support. What you think, Waller?
Man, I appreciate it, man. I love his attitude, man. And I love his heart, man. You know, it's rough for us, man. You know, you're not playing right now. You know, we're frustrated.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I might want to really say maybe Ernie might have made a good move finally.
Hey, look. We'll get to that in a minute. Thomas Bryant, I got to give you a shout. My man had 26 points, 14 rebounds.
Yes,
it was in a losing effort. But, boy, you keep improving and developing and bringing the energy. And, damn it, I appreciate it.
And Coach let him play.
That's right. All right, next game. Chance to get off the schneid. We're going from playing the best team in the East to playing the worst team in the East. So, damn it, let's go. Washington against the Cavaliers. First game after the trade. So, we talked about Otto Porter being shipped out, but we didn't talk about who was being shipped in. Big additions to the team. Big additions. So, Bobby Portis, who came actually in the same draft as Kelly Oubre. We had a chance to get Bobby Portis, but we traded up to get Oubre instead. He was one of the players who was definitely on our draft board. Very good player, highly touted coming out of college. He's only 24 years old, and he's been a productive player for the Bulls, even though the Bulls are kind of doing a rebuilding thing right now. And they're trying to dump some salaries. They don't want Bobby Portis in their long-term plans.
Yeah, and they didn't want to pay him.
Nope.
We saw what was up.
So we took Bobby, and we also took
Jabari
Parker.
I hate Duke, but hey, I'll take you, baby.
Hey, look, man, he's not a Dookie anymore. Yeah. I won't hold it against you, bro.
And don't play like no Dookie, please.
So we got a 2-for-1, which was pretty impressive for Ernie Grunfeld. Really pretty impressive for any general manager to pull off this deal. Yeah. Otto Porter had one of those salaries that you think you could never get rid of. And we actually traded him for 2 players who, in my opinion, are both better than Otto. And the stats kind of reaffirm this. Yeah, Otto averaged, 12 points this year, which which is pretty low for a guy
that's making that type of money.
Pretty low for a starter himself. Jabari Parker's averaging 14 points this year, and Bobby Portis also averaging 14 points this year. Now, Jabari Parker's coming off ACL surgery in 2017 and one in 2014. So he had 2 ACLs since he came into the league, unfortunately. He was the number 2 pick in the draft, y'all. So he was really highly touted out of Duke as a change maker, as a difference maker, and maybe even as a franchise player.
Yeah.
Now, after he had that ACL surgery in 2014, and then he re-injured it in 2017, that period before he re-injured it, he was really balling. Like, you know, it takes like 2 years to come back from an ACL. Yeah. And in 2017, before he got hurt, he was averaging 20 points a game. So he's starting to finally get his legs back. It's now 2019, so he's past that 2-year threshold. Really excited to see what we get from the boy. But let's get to the game. Us against Cleveland, a revenge game for us. Unbelievably, we've lost 2 games in a row to the lowly Cavs. They haven't won many games this year, and they got 2 against us, which is pretty bad. All right, 3rd time was the charm. We get the win, 119-106.
Beautiful, folks.
All right.
Beautiful.
Now, it was a home game. We should have won this game anyway, but Bobby Portis showed out. I mean, normally this doesn't happen fresh off a trade, but my man scored 30 points off the bench.
Yes.
All right. Last game as a Bull, he actually scored 33 points off the bench. Yeah. So he set an NBA record. It's the first time that a player has scored 30 points in consecutive games on 2 different teams in one season. So pretty impressive. Beal, my man, Mr. All-Star, added 25 points, 12 assists, y'all, and 6 rebounds. All right?
All-Star.
This is the... Let's talk about Bradley Beal for a minute. This man had only 1 10-assist games. 1 10-assist games in 405 games in his whole career. Just one. All right? This year, we've played 56 games so far. The man has had 4 10-assist games. So it just goes to show you this man's working the offseason to be a better playmaker. It's showing out. The man got his first triple-double this year. I mean, he's getting 40 points and 10 assists at that in some facets. Really big ups to Bradley Beal. Really coming along as a player, becoming one of the best players in the league.
Now, we forgot to talk about Markieff Morris in this trade.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the trades a little bit later. Sad to see Markieff go. But not his antics. All right. Next on the list, man, we got to give up to big ups to Jeff Green this game, who's been having an unbelievable season. He backed up Beal and Bobby Portis with 15 points, 8 rebounds. Just having a phenomenal year. He's a free agent at the end of the year. I really hope we bring Uncle Jeff back. Yes. Last but not least, got to shout out Parker. He didn't have a big scoring game. He only scored 7 points, but my man had 9 assists and 9 assists and 11 rebounds. He was like a Swiss Army knife out there, just doing a little bit of everything, really showing you all the things that he could bring to the table. Yeah. On the Cleveland side, rookie Sexton had 27 points. Obviously, wasn't nearly enough. We come out with a cruising victory. Like I said, 119-106, won by 13 at home.
Yes.
Last but not least, this is a crazy game. We actually played the Chicago Bulls. So it's a trade revenge game.
Yes.
Porter gets to get revenge against the Wizards for letting him go, and Bobby Portis and Parker get to get revenge against the Bulls for letting them go.
And not paying them the big money.
Right.
And they were hungry, man.
So the Bulls came with a record of 13-42. Like I said, they're in big-time rebuilding stage. Their big 3 is Louis Marketing and Adam Levine. And, of course, now Otto Porter.
Who?
So we came in a record of 23-42, 10 games better. This did not get off to a good start. We actually went down 10-2 to start this game. Yeah. I was a little bit worried.
I was too.
But then we went on a big run. We ended up being up 15 points at the half. We had a big second quarter, 42 points. You know what? When you have a game, like when you trade your players, a lot of times it's like an adrenaline rush. It's like you give them a shot of adrenaline because
I saw that.
The whole team is galvanized by having some new additions. The players who got traded are obviously really motivated to beat their old team.
To prove.
So this is going to be a really interesting game to see. All right. So it's Portis and Parker versus Porter. Now, Portis, after the game, said, I think the Wiz got a steal, right? He really called Porter out, saying that him and Parker were a better deal. Hey, they proved it tonight. Yes. We got back-to-back good games from Parker and Porter. Actually, Porter tried to kill us, man. He had 18 the game before against the Brooklyn Nets in a win, but he struggled a little bit tonight. 6 of 15, had double figures, but didn't really make a big impact. The man of the night was Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Unbelievable.
Dunks, boy.
Woo, yeah. 5 dunks, 6 dunks in the game. Bobby Portis had a very slow start, didn't have a great shooting night. Looked like he was kind of pressing a little bit against his former team. Sometimes that happens, right? You're trying a little too hard and you're not being as productive as you usually are. But he still came across with 10 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists for the game. Another double-double, another double-figure game. Big time playing. Now, Adam Levine tried to kill us with 20 points, 11 rebounds, but it wasn't enough. We got great production from my man Chasing Randle. Had 20 points, who's really playing well right now off the bench, man. He is really playing well, putting in great minutes. And he mentioned the trade for Markieff Morris. We traded Markieff to the Pelicans for Wesley Johnson, sharpshooter from Syracuse. Wesley poured in 14 points on 5 of 6 shooting. And unbelievably, all 4 of the players that we traded for this year scored in double figures against the Bulls. Now, we mentioned Portis, we mentioned Parker, of course. We just mentioned my man Wesley Johnson. But Trevor Ariza, don't forget about him. We traded for him early in the year. I wasn't too happy about it, but he did pour in 19 points. So it's nice to see all of our new additions really contributing, getting a lot of minutes, and becoming a really linchpin and being vital to victories for our team.
Ernie, you can go like this just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
Just a little bit.
Oh, man. But get Otto some tissue, man. Hey, Otto, you all right? Oh, all right, you be all right.
So, before we really dive into how we feeling about these trades, let's talk about John Wall. Big ups to my man, J-Dub. Number 1, he's having surgery on Tuesday. Put your prayers up for my man. Really wishing for you to have a successful surgery and a speedy recovery, bro. We know how tough the Achilles injuries are, but if anybody can come back from it, you can. I know we've been criticizing you a lot on this show. You've been getting a lot of criticizing all around the globe on your production this year. You know, it's a valid question as to has John Wall hit a wall? You know, have you reached a peak in your career, and will you still continue to ascend and improve as a player heading into your 30s? What do you think, Wall?
I got faith in him. I just love his drive, man. I mean, you know, we just been so disappointed. And I'm really trying to tell myself that maybe your heel injury has been a reason why you haven't really been able to produce the way that you have. You know, really giving it time to think about it, man. And just really, like, you know, being a fan and just looking behind the scene and seeing the stuff that you're doing or what you're going through. You know, you got a lot going on. You know, new baby, injury. I mean, that's a lot mentally to deal with, even as, you know, as a person. You're human just like us. So, you know, we understand where where you're coming from, man. So, we still sticking with you, dog.
Hey, man, never wanted to ride with you as much as I want to ride with you right now, man. Just heard about moms dealing with cancer diagnosis right now. For somebody who lost his brother to cancer, man, I'm feeling you real hard right now, man. And you know what, dog? You gave us our best memory that I can recall. It was a game against the Boston Celtics a couple years ago, man. It was right after Maya had passed away. Maya was a 6-year-old who really befriended John Wall. She had lymphoma, and unfortunately she passed away right before we played Boston. And it was a tough game. It went to overtime. If you remember, John Wall took over at the end of that game. And in the interview, he couldn't even talk, man.
Shit,
he just poured out tears.
I ain't gonna lie, I almost
if you watch the interview, get your tissues, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, it was rough.
Yeah,
so,
Otto got some for it.
So the fact that you care so much about one of the most vulnerable people catching cancer, we know you must be really feeling it and being fearful about your mom's condition right now. So I just want to send out good vibes. Know that you're in our hearts and prayers, bro. You're like a part of the family. Just praying for moms, and I hope that she can beat this. I know she will. I know she will.
Remember one thing, homie, strength is in prayer.
That's right. All right, let's talk about the trades, man. Let's talk about the trades. So Otto Porter averaged 12.9 points a game for us. He was drafted number 3 in 2013, 25 years old. I think we made a great deal. Obviously, we wanted to dump that salary, and the Bulls actually wanted to dump the salaries of Parker and Porter, so it was a win on both sides, so to speak. Both teams got what they wanted. Yeah. Porter's averaging 14 points a game, only 24 years old, and Jabari Parker also averaging 14 points a game. drafted in 2014, number 2 pick. He's only 23. And even though he's had 2 ACL surgeries, players are coming back bigger and better from ACLs now. And like I said, he's 2 years removed, and that's why you saw all those dunks. The man's got his explosiveness back.
Yes, he did,
and he looks quick, fast, in a hurry. All right?
Yeah,
now,
boy.
He'll be a free agent after this year. That's the one thing that you notice with all of our free agents. Wesley Johnson, Parker, Portis, even Trevor Ariza. They're all potential salary dumps.
Yeah.
Every last one of them, their salaries conclude at the end of this year. Their contracts conclude, so they can be gone. They can either be free agent or we can try to bring them back. But at the end of the day, all of these players are not guaranteed to come back to us next year.
And then in a way, that's good, Ernie, because that's giving you
a little bit of leeway.
A little mooly.
A little bit of leeway.
Shout out to you, Ernie. I never thought I would, but we'll see, baby. We'll see. Right. Hope I got to cuss you out next show.
Probably will. All right, so because of John Wall's injury, Ted Leosis, Ernie Grunsfield decided to kind of clean house a little bit. Markeith Morris, who averaging 11 points a game this year, 5 rebounds, 1 tech, 1 stupid play a game. 29 years old at this point. Traded him to the Pelicans for Wesley Johnson, who's just a journeyman, who's a pretty good 3-point shooter. Markeith was actually waived by the Pelicans, so they won't be seeing him in a Pelicans jersey at all. Yeah. He's now a free agent for anybody to pick up. I heard like the Lakers might be looking at him as a potential enforcer going into the playoffs. Yeah. So I'd like to see him on a playoff team. I think he can be a contributor. Just glad we don't have to see his crazy antics on our team. But Markeith, you were good while it lasted. Yeah. I am respectful of the time that you gave us, bro, and all respect to you, man. Hope that your antics work on another team.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, next game is on Monday. We got 2 games before the All-Star break. Hopefully we can get a couple wins as we head into Charlotte. I'll be down there checking out Bradley Bill. If you're down there, look out for me. We'll do a full All-Star recap on our next go-round. Check out Team Giannis and Team LeBron. See who Waller thinks going to win.
Whatever, man. I don't care as long as Bradley get his man.
That's true. All right. District Sports Report, signing off, y'all. Oh, but before we go, give us the top floor breakdown.
Yeah, man. Top floor breakdown, man. Sad news, with the Nats. Frank Robinson passed away at 83 years old a few days ago. Shout out to the Nats family. Of course, we are part of all that. He was the first African-American manager in Major League Baseball history. So, if you didn't know that, really take heed of that. It's Black History Month and all of that, so you need to really pay attention to that, Holmes. Know your facts. Real talk.
That's right.
Georgetown lost to Butler 73-69. You're getting too late too close to March to be losing, homie.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up, man. The Caps lost to the Florida Panthers 5-4. Right. And the Capital City Go-Go lost to the Windy City 109-121. Top floor breakdown wasn't too good, but hey, it is what it is, DC. Take the bitter with the sweet.
That's right. That's right. We'll get back on the top floor next time. Hey, keep doing your thing, Georgetown. You're not looking good for the tournament, but let's at least make the NIT freshman.
You ain't got to make that.
No, you still got to get invited to the NIT.
Yeah, I know.
Man, hopefully we make that. I do want to see my boys playing in some type of tournament in March. Maryland still hovering in the top 25. Hope they can hold on to it. Yeah. Got some big games coming up in the Big Ten. Let's keep it going, MD. All right, let's go. Next game, we'll be back. DC, we love you. Woo.